So making money on this game at a certain point is going to be extremely important. Whether you're trying to go ahead and upgrade your pickaxe, or better yet, if you're trying to upgrade any of your equipment such as your armor or your weapons, it's very, very important that you have a ton of cash for this.
Mostly because the RNG for the enhancing stuff is a little baloney sometimes and it doesn't work.
But I have figured out a way to go ahead and make cash. However, the only downside for this is you do need to have somewhat decent equipment with you and to be a high enough level for this. I would say this is like the final area where you have decent equipment, a good enough level, at least to be a level 70 or more. The quote-unquote end game area. So number one, good armor. Medium, heavy, it doesn't really matter so long as it's really, really good. I know everybody's making like some crazy armor made out of demonite and even darkrite. The multipliers on them are very, very nice, with the passes being somewhat decent, right? But I chose a different route. As some players out there might know, I am actually working on an armor set that I decided to go ahead and experiment with. This in turn allows me to have a ton of health and be pretty tanky. So step one is kind of be prepared, and I also talked about this in my video talking about like the 4 things that you should never do inside of the game. Do not do this if you do not have the ability to regain these very easily. This means if you're level 20, 30, 40, 50, this is going to be a little bit more difficult to go ahead and just farm pretty much. Now, unless you're ready to go ahead and painfully regrind all of your essence, then this is probably not for you. But we're going to go ahead and talk about essence. And we did say pretty much that if you're a high enough level to go ahead and just redo all of this, then by all means, sell the essence and farm this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out of my angel class right now and go to my 3rd slot, which is an orc. To be honest, Dragonborn and Demon are perfect for this as well. I just didn't have any more spins to go ahead and try to get anything else other than what I have right now. But you want something with higher physical damage. So with orc, I'm going to go ahead and get 10% physical damage and plus 15% extra health. The only downside is I'm going to have negative 10 movement speed, but my armor should go ahead and compensate for anything that I might lose. So as a total, my armor should give me around 406 defense, and this is excluding the vitality that I'm actually getting from the armor as well. So I have extra health on top of extra health because of my race that I'm using right now. So I'm able to take a couple of hits from these enemies without even taking anything crazy right now, which is why it's really important for you guys to go ahead and consider to have a really good armor and better yet, a weapon before you go ahead and attempt to do this at all. But now, to put this to the real test, I'm gonna go ahead and sell all of my superior and my epic essence for this test. So 112 and 194. $25,000 for all of the ones that I have right here right now. But if I were to sit here for a whole hour straight and just purely grind the NPCs, I wonder how much I'll be able to get within that 1 hour. I have 1 hour set to my phone. I'm gonna go ahead and time this, and then we're gonna go ahead and see how much essence that we get within that 1 hour. We're gonna be chilling here for a little bit. Okay, so an hour has officially passed by. Now, I do have to be honest, I did have somebody else here trying to also fight enemies, and I did not want to be in the way of doing that. They had a quest line to go ahead and defeat certain enemies, so I kind of felt bad if I just started stealing all of their enemy spawns that they needed, so I tried to help them out in the process of this too, so I probably didn't get as much as I really wanted out of all of this, but let's go ahead and take a look at how much essence in general we just got. So we have 146 of the superior essence and 64 of the epic. I did get some runes out of this as well, which is really awesome, and slimite, which what we could do is turn around and make that into armor and sell. But what's even nicer about all of this too is I just grinded from the beginning of the video at $63,108.79. Now I'm currently sitting at $101,623.18 from just killing the mobs. This is exclusive including selling everything that I just got. Let's go ahead and go back into the beginning of world section and see how much this is all worth. Now, let's go ahead and see how much all of this essence is worth. 146 and 64. It looks like just for this alone, it's $17,350. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and sell it because I do need it, but from fighting just the mobs alone, we made $38,514.39 and $17,350, giving us total of $55,864.39. So if you kind of get bored of just mining ore all the time, or you just don't really know what else to do inside of the game other than just mine, you could go actually fight some NPCs and earn cash that way and get runes, which are really, really important, which we're going to go ahead and take a look at right now. The nice part is you can actually get rune drops from some of these enemies, which you really do need for your pickaxe or your weapons, armor, so on and so forth. So let's take a look at one. We'll use this as an example because that's a placeholder for right now. So we have a Flame Spark. This one's actually pretty decent. To be honest, if anything is like at least above 15%, I always consider that to be a little bit better. Life Steal, that one's decent. I know this can go higher. Attack Speed, oh, that's nice. I think this is mine anyways. I favorited it. Lethality, 13%. Critical Chance, that one's I could sell that one. Burn, we could sell this one. Drain Edge, ew. I could sell that one. Oh god, yeah, I could sell this one too. Lethality, that one's whatever. Attack Speed, that's nice, 15%, but I think that one's already mine. Critical Chance, Life Steal, Lethality, and Burn. Critical Chance. This one's nice. I'm actually going to go ahead and save this one. This one is a 18%, 7%. It looks like a lot of these are actually just sellable, so I am going to go ahead and just do that. Favorite the ones that I don't want to go ahead and sell and just kind of get rid of the other ones that I don't need. So now we can go ahead and see what we have so far for our runes and see how much they're all worth. But before we do that, let's go ahead and favorite the ones that we really like. So this is the 16%. We're going to go ahead and favor that one. We're definitely saving this one. This is a 18%. This 19% one is actually pretty decent, so I'm going to go ahead and save it. And I think we're good on actually selling everything else officially. We'll save this one just in case. And this makes the process so much more easier if you're trying to like mass sell a ton of things, so you just know what you need to go ahead and click on. Dude, they ended up dropping a ton. This is also a very, very good way to go ahead and get a ton of runes, so you guys can go ahead and interchange between what you really want to use and what you don't want to use, especially if you want to get like a higher percentage rate on them. Okay, this should be like all of them that I don't really want to sell, so everything else we'll go ahead and sell, and we get 975. Dude, I just got scammed. Now that all of that is out of the way, let's talk about survivability. I know everybody has like different builds, or people are following like a certain guide made by other YouTubers and stuff, which is great, it's fine, but the time that you're going to be putting into trying to get Demonite and Darkrai are going to take way too long. So I decided to do this one myself. I'm currently working on either a medium or a heavy set armor. So far, I have gone through multiple of these, and unfortunately, it either makes a heavy helmet or a medium armor. So if I get a heavy set armor pants, then I'm gonna have to try to make a heavy armor set. Whichever, or it doesn't really matter to me. It could be heavy or medium, so long as my traits transfer over perfectly. But what also helps me out with this as well is the critical chance boost with this. We have this at 100%, so it is completely maxed out. Now, you could technically do an attack speed boost, but I mean, you would rather have a critical. If I were to switch over to my angel class, it's really not going to change too much, other than maybe perhaps the movement speed, and that's just moving around, right? So we can see how fast I'm already going organically. This is just by the weapon and what I chose to go ahead and create on my own, which is what I want. I want dexterity, I want speed. But would that still apply if you use a heavy set class with an orc? Yes, it will still remain the same. I also did something else as well, which I would like to maximize out completely, is the weaponsmith. Again, I prefer attack speed over anything else. So now that we have this equipped, you guys guys can pretty much see how fast the movement is. And I'm pretty sure if you do use like a heavy sword, your movement is going to be just a little faster, which is what you kind of want. Because you can see already, this moves very slow. And yes, it does a lot of damage. You get a lot of DPS out of heavy set swords, but I just don't really like taking forever to hit something. That's just me. This is a really, really good setup for either a katana or for the gauntlets. Anything that moves faster, to me, it gives you the ability to learn strategy, and I like that strategy. Now, the only thing that I do have on my gauntlets is it's primarily a dark right. It is what it is, but I end up doing 70 damage, which is pretty decent. These can go higher, but I don't want to experiment too much and lose all my ore. My previous ones were made out of rivolite, which gave me 61. So again, if you are one of those players out there that are at least level 70 or more, this is a pretty viable way to go ahead and make some extra cash by just killing some enemies within the magma section, and by option, selling the runes and selling the essences. The plus side too is if you do the monster slayer, you get a stamina boost, which I mean, if you really need stamina, that's also a bonus. As always, if you guys are brand new, hi, welcome to my channel. I do a lot of stuff now, and until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe because I forgot to say that in the beginning and the last part of this video. Okay, bye.